Thanks for joining us for another all week, and our aim here is to find some winners for Saturday night's Albion Park program. This is Weekend Winners, and in this edition of Weekend Winners we are going to speak with Taleah McMullen, who has a book of drives on Saturday night which is very, very strong, and Shane Graham also with a key booking as well, a number of key bookings. So we're going to speak with both Taleah and Shane to get their thoughts on Saturday night's program. 10 in total. We get underway just after 5 o'clock. Always good to chat with Taleah McMullen to go through her book of drives each and every weekend, and she's in the hot seat tonight. Taleah, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Busy night for you coming up this weekend. 7 drives, an early scratching of Red Castleton, which is disappointing. We don't get to see him go around, but all in all, it looks a good book of drives for you on the weekend.
Yeah, it is. Got to pick up a couple of Ryan's drive, his horses as well, with Danielle being on the sidelines, which is really good as well.
Okay, well, let's go through them. Race 1, Tactical Response. Second row draw, you know this guy well. His form of late is very good, but the second row draw probably hurts his chances a little bit. Yeah,
he's been racing really well. I think he's good coming off of speed as well, so I'm not too worried about the draw, to be honest. I think sometimes it's better drawing there than, 6 or 7, so I think he should get a nice run along, and I think he'll be there in the finish. I wouldn't be surprised if he put in a really good run.
Okay, Ideal World is an early scratching in this race. Does that take a little bit of the pace out of the race early, because he looked like he was going to go forward despite the wide draw?
Yeah, probably. It probably would have helped us if he was in it this week, but I think the speed will still be on anyway, so I think that'll bring us right into the race.
Yeah, I tend to agree, because looking at this field on paper, it looks very even, so it should generate its own tempo.
Yeah, I think so. I think you could nearly make a case for any horse in the race. It's a pretty even field, so I think my horse has a pretty good chance as well.
Okay, excellent stuff there. Tactical Response, race 1, number 10. Let's go across to race 4, Stinger Lindenny. You've picked up the drive on this one for Ryan, with your sister being on the sidelines. He was most unlucky last week. He just had the wrong draw, and as it played out, he ended up being 3 back on the inside, but he went to the line full of running.
Yeah, his form's been really good, and he was just luckless last start. So I think from the front line draw, he should be really hard to beat this week. So it's a really nice drive to pick up.
Yeah, do you think he can lead this field?
I think so. He's shown some really good gate speed, so we'll definitely be giving it a good crack.
Ryan's done a really good job sorting this guy out. His first couple of runs were, a little bit mixed, but his form of late, as you outlined, has been excellent, and he's versatile as well.
Yeah, definitely. He's taken a little bit of time to come around, but he's definitely hit his straps now.
All right, well, that's Stinger Lindenny, an excellent chance in race number 4. Race 5, which is the Open. You're going to drive Secret Agent Tycoon. Anything that could go wrong for him last week did go wrong. He's got a second row draw, the only horse off the second row. He looks like he's going to be very hard to beat here.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to drive him as well. He's a really nice horse, so it will be good to take the reins on him. He's a class horse. He was very luckless last week. I think the small field definitely helps him, so hopefully we might be able to get a winner there as well.
Yeah, the distance won't pose any problem. He's very good at the mile, but he's versatile, and the 2100's no issue.
Yeah, he's very versatile. I don't think the distance really worries him, or he can do it tough and come from back in the field, so he just seems like the ultimate racehorse.
Yeah, he looks hard to beat. Race 5, number 8, Secret Agent Tycoon. In the following race, race 6, you're down to drive Chiasso again. You had your first drive on this mare last week, and she performed well. She was probably a little unlucky, caught up behind a tiring leader, but once she got to the inside, she picked up some nice late ground.
Yeah, she was really good last week, and she's got a really nice sprint on her. The draw is probably the only query. It's a bit tricky from there, very awkward. However, I think she'll run a really nice race. Hopefully we don't end up too far back and get a nice run.
She's coming back from the 2100 last week to the mile on Saturday night, and she does have good gate speed. She proved that when she scored 2 starts ago. There is some pace drawn to your inside. Do you think you're a chance of crossing those on your inside?
Yeah, I'm not sure if she'll find the fence, but even if we find the running line, that'll probably be pretty good for her. She is a nice sit sprinter as well, so at least she's versatile, so you have your options there.
Yeah, 2 of the main dangers in this race look to be Scarlet Babe, who's 2 for 2 since coming north, and Saucy Dreams, who was a little unlucky there last week as well, but they've got wide draws, but they look like they're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, they're really nice mares. But if you could just get a nice sit on them and they had to do a bit of work, you never know your luck.
Yeah, good point. Square Dealer's on the backup after winning last Saturday night. He's got gate 7 on Saturday night, which is not ideal. I'm fascinated by your thoughts on this guy. He's a former Kiwi. He's only had the 4 local runs. He was excellent first up, following speed, a couple of indifferent runs, and then he bounced back last week. How do you rate this guy?
I do really like him. I think we're still figuring him out a little bit. I think he's probably better on the front end. Last week he was really good. He relaxed really good in front. From the wide draw and you have to go back, he can get a little fired up. But once he finds a helmet, he's usually good. He actually does have a really good turn of foot. Like in his trial, I was really impressed with the way when I pulled him out, he just kind of goes. He just wants to find the front and wants to beat them. So I think if he could get back without giving me too much trouble and find a nice helmet to follow into it, then I think he will be a good chance. I don't think it's too much harder of a race than last week.
Well, just looking back at last week, he did it very easily last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He kind of switches off a little bit, and then when something gets up outside of him, he just wants to go again.
Okay. Well, we'll wait and see there with gate 7 for him on Saturday night and see what sort of mood he turns up in Square Dealer. BMAC is your next drive, race number 8. Is he still your favourite in the stable?
I think so. He's just an awesome little horse to drive, and every week you go out and drive him and he just gives it his all. He's just a real nice little racehorse. You could have 10 of him in the stable and you'd be happy, but the draw's very awkward for him this week. He does have a little bit of gate speed, but he's probably a bit better if you don't use him out, so it's very awkward, but I think he's still a chance. He just has to find the right spot.
The win last week didn't surprise because he's been going really well, and you drove him really well last week. The fact that you're able to shoot down to the inside, just giving that little bit of a breather before coming off again, going down the back, that was probably the winning move.
Yeah, everything just worked out perfect for him last night. I was pretty excited to get the win with him last week, but yeah, he's just an awesome little horse, and you know he'll try hard. So no matter the draw or what type of horses he's up against, he just goes out there and gives 100%.
So like Square Dealer, you've just got to find a good spot without doing too much with him early. Yeah,
they're both a bit awkward draws as well last week. They had a really nice run, so it makes it a little bit harder, but I still think they're both in it.
I've got to ask the question, in time to come, could Square Dealer challenge BMAC as far as your favourite is concerned?
I think BMAC, he's just such a little horse and he's so cool to drive. You sit behind him and you think you're driving a little pony. He's just probably the nicest horse we have in the stable to drive, so I think he still definitely takes it over Square Dealer.
Okay, short answer was no there. Race 9. You had the choice of drives here, Goal Kicker, and you're also down for Blue Ivy. You've chosen to drive Goal Kicker. She lands gate 2 and she's a gate speed horse. She does look well placed here.
Yeah, I just thought from the draw that she may just find her mare's race this week. She's had a few cracks at them and hasn't got one yet. However, if she could lead this, I wouldn't be surprised if she would be able to win. It seems to be a little bit easier than some of the other ones that have been on previously. So hopefully if she finds a fence and can hold up, I think she'll run a really nice race.
Fond Memories is the class runner, but she's fresh into this race and I don't think she's trialled, so it'll be interesting to see how she presents there on Saturday night. But Goal Kicker looks a live chance, and as you outlined, Red Castleton is scratching. Nothing too serious?
No, he just had a little cut on his hock, and we didn't think there was much point racing him when we know he's not going to be 100%.
All right, busy night for you. 7 drives, some excellent drives as well. Which one are you looking forward to most at this early stage?
I think the best chance for the night probably is Lindenny. I think from the draw and the race he's in, I think he's well placed.
We'll take the tip. Race 4, number 4, Lindenny. As always, Taleah, a pleasure. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
It's always great to have Shane Graham join us for weekend winners, and he's in the hot seat now to go through his book of drives for the weekend. Shane, appreciate the time.
Yeah, no worries, Chris.
It's another good book for you on the weekend. We start with Shannon's The Man in race number 1. On paper, this race looks loaded with chances. You've got gate 6, the outside of the front row with the early scratching of Ideal World, but he couldn't have been any more impressive last week.
Yeah, that's right. You know, looking at it, the draw hasn't been the best to us, but he sort of won from everywhere since he's been up here. So, you know, that always gives you, you know, a bit of help. You know, he seems pretty versatile, but he was super last week, so I'm sure if he goes like that again, he'll be in the money.
It is a step up, though, on what he beat last week to what he's meeting this weekend, and you've got that, you know, sticky draw on paper. Where do you sort of see yourself being, you know, going into that first turn?
Yeah, that's right. It you know, it is a step up, and you know, a lot of the runners are, you know, in great form there. So I'm not exactly sure, you know, what Charlie and Chrissy will want us to do, but you know, it'd be nice if we could sort of lob pretty handy. But you know, from the draw, it's going to be a bit hard to do that.
The early scratching of Ideal World, he was a go-forward type and likely to run the gate despite the wide draw. Does that take away a little bit of pressure from that race, so does that make it easier or harder?
I'll tell you after the race if we needed him in there or not. Like you said, he would have been a go-forward horse, but yeah, I don't know if that'll sort of how much of you know, how much that'll change the race or not. But you know, we'll know more after the first 100.
All right, it's going to be a competitive race, but he's got as good a shot as any. Shannon's the man. He's in very good form. Race 3, Sammer's Perfection. You've picked up the drive here. Again, this race looks fairly open. A field of 9 over the 2,138 metres, and he's not out of it here.
No, he's not. You know, like you know, you sort of look at his form. He's always thereabouts. He's an honest old horse, and I'm sure with the right run, he'll be in it. You know, it's like you said, it's an even mob of runners. So if he gets a little bit of luck, he should be there somewhere.
Do you think he's better suited at the mile or this distance range, or it doesn't really matter?
I don't think. Yeah, look, probably the longer the better, I think, for him. You know, he seems to get into a bit of rhythm, so probably the longer distance suit him a bit more.
Okay, Sean Grimsey, his numbers keep swelling. He was in the winner's circle on Wednesday night, so he's chasing another winner here with Sammer's Perfection in race number 3. Macklemore race 4. He was first up last week. I thought it was a pass mark last week.
Yeah, he was real good. I went inside a few pegs there. I had a bit of trouble with the vision, so he was good last week. He's just an honest horse. If he gets the right trip, he'll be thereabouts. He never puts in a bad run.
You've got pressure to your inside, in particular with a horse like Lindenny. He was really unlucky last week, and he draws probably the lead here in Gate 4. So is he the horse to beat?
Yeah, I think so. You know, he sort of looks like he'll be straight to the front, so he's always going to be hard to run down.
All right, well, Macklemore's still a chance there. Race 4. We go across to race 6. Scarlet Baby's your drive here. Race 6, number 6. 2 for 2 since coming north, and she's been awesome so far. That last start performance was a real thrill. She was just brilliant over the final half.
Yeah, she was. She's sort of been a bit of a surprise packet. You know, she raced good first up, and then last week she did that quite well. So you know, she's still going to have to earn it from the widest draw there, but you know, she's got such high speed. It always helps you out.
It looked like she still had a little bit left in that race as we watched the replay, and you watch her over the concluding stages. She looked comfortable going to the line.
Yeah, no, she you know, you don't know how much more you've got there when you ask for it, but she, to me, felt like she sort of done it within herself, and you know, she sort of, the last 50 she just coasted along. So I'm sure if she had to get more fair income than that, there would have been more there.
How much gate speed has she got?
She's got really, like, yeah, quite good gate speed. We haven't used it yet, but you know, down in Menangle and that, she's come across from wide draws, and I think the Red Hawk, the mare's race at Dubbo, she led it. So she does have very, you know, not just one-dimensional. She does have gate speed, but we haven't had to use that yet.
Will you use it on Saturday night?
There is speed inside of us, you know, so we'll just sort of play it by ear, you know, but you know, more than likely we'll probably go back, but if something happens, we've got the option there, we can. Okay,
as it stands, 2 for 2. Winter Carnival just around the corner. There's a new Group 1 mare's race. Is she trending in that sort of direction, or is that a bridge too far?
Yeah, look, if she's sort of still going well by then, you know, I'm sure we'll look at it. We're sort of just take it sort of run by run at this stage, you know, but if she keeps going like she is, I'm sure we'll aim for that.
Okay, race number 8 on Saturday night, a Shark. He draws gate 3, going really well, and this looks winnable. It is. You know, probably the hardest to beat will be the one horse, so, you know, but he's been going good from bad second line draws, so we know what a difference it makes being on the front end or up the front at Albion Park. So he's been racing terrific coming from back in the field. So yeah, he'll be much appreciated going forward early. Okay, race number 9, Run for the Roses. You were with this mare last week, and she went boldly out in front, running second. But you've got plenty of pace to your inside here on Saturday night. Yeah, that's right. She's sort of one of those mares, like,
She never really puts in a bad run. Her form mightn't suggest that, but whenever she can sort of lead or be up on the front end, she's always thereabouts. So if she could sort of get somewhere up handy again, she'll be thereabouts.
All right, and Kingdom Come again for Richard Hutchison in the final race. The trot, Red Castleton an early scratching. So he's going well. He hasn't been far away his last couple, and he could easily win this.
Yeah, no, he was very unlucky last week, and he did hit the line, you know, like very strong. So if he can get a good trip, it wouldn't surprise me if he got home over the top of him.
Yeah, he starts off a 30-metre handicap. Majestic Simon, likely to be favourite. He's off 50 metres. That's a tall order over this short trip.
Yeah, it is, and you know, at the end of the day, he's still only given us 20. So you know, he's going to be sort of hard for us to beat. But you know, like for him to give some of the other runners 50, that's hard going over 21. But he's a class horse, so I'm sure if anyone can, he can.
Okay, for us punters, which one are we going to put the circle around for Shane Graham on Saturday night?
Oh, look, I'd like to say Scarlet Babe. You know, she's probably the most exciting one coming through the grades. You know, so I'd say her.
All right, race 6, number 6, Scarlet Babe. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, mate.
A big thanks to both Taleah and Shane for their time and insight for Saturday night's card. Looking for a good gamble, I think we're going to go with a newcomer here to Queensland on Saturday night. Race 2, Horse 1, Misterfreeze. Now under the care of Jack Butler. He's first up on a Saturday night at Albion Park and he hasn't trialled, but when you go through his overall record and look who he's been racing against, he does look well placed. I think he'll run a bold race first up here. Race 2, number 1, Misterfreeze, marking him as one of our better bets on the program. Remember, if you are having a gamble this weekend, please do so responsibly. Bet with your head, not over it. The first of 10 at $5.19.